Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4 o'clock. I will call to order this meeting of the Fargo Public Library Board of Directors. Can we start with a roll call? Can we start at the end down here with Hannah?
Hannah James.
Jenna Reno.
Wanda Minglecook.
And John Rodenbiker here presiding. And I believe online, do we have Chris?
Yes, you do.
And maybe Paul?
And we have Paul.
Excellent. All right, first order of business, we have agenda before us. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve.
Do I have a second?
This is Jenna. I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to the minutes that we have in front of us for today from our last meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 19th meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And do I have a second?
Hannah will second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor, please say yes.
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 All right, and that's unanimous. I don't see anybody from the public here today. And so we will move on to the staff report.
Hello, you should have my report in your packet. I'll just give you some highlights. There is an update on the staffing. There is a conditional offer out for that open branch library 1 position, so hopefully they'll be filling that soon. Our teen librarian wanted me to remind people that there are volunteer opportunities available for teens at the library. It's the first Saturday of every month, and they switch between the main library and the Carlson branch, and kids don't have to come every time, but it's an opportunity for kids to add volunteering to if they're doing college applications or they're in an organization that wants them to volunteer, and it benefits the library as well. For events, we have a genealogy class coming up this Thursday, which is the Fargo Library's last One Book, One Community event for this year. And we have so many people of Norwegian descent in this area that this class is going to focus on tools and little idiosyncrasies of doing family history research in Norway. We have a couple things for Halloween coming up. Halloween is a Friday this year, but in case not everybody wants to go out to celebrate, we are having an event for adults and older teens if they're interested. They're doing a virtual trivia murder party. That's going to be hosted on Discord, which is a free platform that's used in a lot of gaming. We all will be carrying the Halloween spirit into November. There's our monthly children's dance story time is going to be Great Pumpkin Shuffle themed in November on the 12th. And then for adults, Matt O'Lean is hosting another series of films, and this one is all horror classics. The last thing I want to mention is an update on our library card design contest. We had almost 1,000 people vote, either in person at the library or online. We've chosen 3 winning designs, so one for the kids age group, one for teens, and one's for adults. Those will be officially announced at the end of this month, and then the cards will be available starting in January, kind of as a kickoff to the library's 125th anniversary year. Anybody have any questions for me?
All right, thank you. Next up, the director's report.
Yes, per your packet. The big news under there, Goal 5, Technology and Infrastructure, Carlson Library renovation discussion, and we're in the process of getting a cost for various renovations for the Carlson Library. It's been almost 20 years that it's been open, and it's had a lot of love, and it's starting to show in terms of some of the wear and tear that we got going on down there. Right now, I'm working with facilities management to gather costs based on the things we want to do, paint, carpet, various alterations in terms of the main area. So once that is identified, I've been working also on the revenue side to help pay for it, obviously, And then once I had the full project, to bring that to the full board for you. But kind of a teaser. So we're looking to do stuff for Carlson, given that it's almost 20 years and we have resources, and we don't want to wait for things to get too beaten down, and keep going. A lot of what we look at was identified in the facilities master plan. So trying to put some legs on that plan by our resources. So more to come on that. Any questions?
Not hearing any questions. We will move on to the next item on our agenda. Unfinished business, we have none. And so we'll move on to new business, including the rules of conduct policy draft.
Yes, what you see there is kind of bringing our rules of conduct in line with some of the new stuff that's out there in terms of wheeled devices. And you can see on the second page, the highlighted portions that is new verbiage or alterated verbiage to kind of cover that. We want to be as clear as possible with folks. If they're bringing in their motorized scooter, it's not quite the venue for it. So you see that there. If there's any questions, obviously we need board action in this regard.
All right, can I have a motion regarding this policy update?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
This is Jenna, I'll second.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion or questions for the director? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say yes.
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 That sounds unanimous. All right, next up, registration policy draft.
Yeah, and you can see there, this is really changing the language per prior board action related to mainly non-resident cards and the fees involved as identified previously. So it's just getting the policy in line with that action of the board. So going as of January 1st, going forward, that's how we'll have things done. So if there's any questions in that regard.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for the registration policy draft?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor of approving the registration policy as presented, please say yes.
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 That also sounds unanimous. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is main coffee space repurposing project update.
Yeah, we're per my discussions with facilities management, it'll get started in November, so I had thought that, this is a smaller project and, this and that would get it started right around spring, right before, summer. That's not the way it works, so. But they said that they're gonna get things going in November, so I'm hoping that happens. Because it'll be so nice to have, what is posited in terms of the mother's nursing space, gender-neutral restroom, and a small washer space for the wiggle room items, as opposed to this empty coffee space. It's one of the first things you see when you walk in Maine,
Yeah.
And I can't wait till that's not the case. So, crossing my fingers, gonna hold them to it in terms of November, get that going.
So question, if this starts in November, what's the timeline on this? When do we think it might wrap up?
I'm not really sure. We haven't had an actual meeting with the folks yet. It's more them identifying those things, and we haven't, they've come in and done the measurements and looked around and find where the electrical is and plumbing and everything. But we haven't had that first sit-down meeting to say, okay, here's what we anticipate, time involved. The big thing is it doesn't, in the end, it didn't intersect with summer reading program. And if we're in a little quieter time of the year, that's fine too. So I don't know as of yet, but hopefully we can have that sit-down once they show up, get that figured out.
Any other questions?
Okay, I have this.
I do. This is Chris.
Yes, Chris?
Is facilities management doing this, or did this actually go out for bids and you have an outside company doing it?
It's an outside company. Now, what we're doing with facilities management is they're going to be the project managers for it. And I've had really good relationships with the folks. They did a lot of help in terms of the Northport stuff.
Okay.
And so we have a primary architectural firm that is coordinating with facilities management to get that done, kind of pulling in the subs in terms of plumbing and electrical and that kind of thing. So I feel good, really good about on the city side in terms of facilities management folks, and the folks from the architectural firm were very thorough when they came and did their measurements and everything. So I feel good. I mean, the scope of the project is not large by any stretch of the imagination, so
No.
I feel good about it.
Okay, you're going to see a lot of costs increasing from when it was first proposed was going to start by summer to now into the fall. Are you going to see a big increase in prices?
You know, I haven't gotten anything. You know, I first posited it, I think, at 250,000. We'll see how it goes. And obviously, we'll make adjustments as necessary and going forward. And I think that's what they've been working on is cost for the project, and we'll know when we know and go forward as we, once those things are identified. Obviously, that is an issue across the board. So that, Chris, that is a possibility, sure.
Okay. And then one last question. You just said the project amount is $250,000. Is that coming out of the library board budget, or is that like a city facilities?
What we
or,
did is
city facilities
we
management?
asked for that amount in our capital budget, and it was funded. It's not like coming out of operating. I mean, this is a separate, one-time, larger project identified part of our budget that was funded by the city at $250,000. So I'm not going to be scraping around in terms of where I'm sitting right now in terms of operating to get this done. So we had money allocated per the city into our capital projects budget for this restoration.
Okay, that's all my questions.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you, Chris. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll keep moving down the agenda to our statistical reports.
Yes, the first thing is library use. You can see year-to-date through the end of September in terms of visits, just down 5%. In terms of program attendance, still very, very strong through the end of September, year-to-date, up 14% over last year. Volunteer hours, up 7% over last year. Internet sign-up, down 14, and electronic activity, down 19. The one thing, in terms of looking at circulation, and I want to bring this attention to the board, on the second page, you can see the renewals at the bottom, and you see the September of +24 versus the September of '25. And you see that rather significant increase of 194%, 95%. And that really is based on our previous discussion last meeting of the automatic renewal that you see.
Sure, okay.
Now, as kind of a stickler for statistics, in my mind, it's kind of wrapping my head around that as circulation. When it's system, it's kind of a passive, system-generated renewal versus a patron-initiated. Now, I'm all for the automatic renewal because that's great customer service and that's a higher calling. But I just want to make that be absolutely plain with the board what that number represents versus what it's compared. Certainly if folks want to subtract that out, it's some form of activity, but it is passive in terms of patron activity, in terms of, but I just FYI, I don't want to be saying, wow, everything's, look at the circulation increase. I mean, things are doing well in comparison, even though we're closed Sundays. But that percentage margin increase that you see on renewals, that's an automatic renewal part of it. So just kind of FYI for everybody's understanding. If anybody has any questions on that.
Any questions? Hearing none there, the September financials.
Yes, in terms of donation summary, very good news. You see, in terms of unrestricted donations, we received an extremely wonderful and generous donation from a Ms. Sarah Lindberg of $10,000, and that's fantastic. So thank you to her in really helping us, and I think it's tremendous. Also, $250 from the Women's Club of Fargo, and we get this $5 monthly recurring gift, which is nice as well. On the restricted, some of it is just reimbursing from other libraries, like the Moorhead Library for $300, and for One Book, One Community, and $500 from the Friends of the Moorhead Library for One Book, One Community, $500. But thank you to the Friends for $500 for Crafternoons. Thanks, Friends, for that. On the expenditure side, the $6,900, that was per board action for the Northport painting, which we're still getting wonderful comments on. People are very happy about that. $300 expended for One Book, One Community. The $4,500 for the reupholstery of the chairs that look wonderful, by the way. From the endowment, $3,214, what that breaks out to is Jazz into Fall for $225. Again, thank you, the Friends, for that. Expenditure of $58 for Crafternoons, $480 for One Book, One Community, and Northern Natives printing of 1,389. Those are the books that came with all the submissions that got printed. And children books of 1,062, so thank you to the Friends for that. And $30 for the staff recognition, Way to Go cards for staff, and big thanks for the Friends. And again, very thankful to Sarah Lindberg for very, very generous donation to the library.
That is incredible. Thank you very much.
On the budget side, through the end of September, with 75% of the year lapsed, just right around a little over 69%, and we're identifying needs between now and the end of the year. Revenue, we've already surpassed what we estimated for 2025, $26,606.69, so no issues there. Any questions?
Any questions for the director? Hearing none. Next item on the agenda is the Friends of the Library report. I don't see any representatives here today. I will remind everybody, though, that their big book sale is October 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and including the bag sale on the 25th. So, and thank you, Friends, for all that you do for our libraries. That takes us to the end of our agenda. Our next regular meeting is November 18th. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.